For many viewers, Jarrod Schulz was known simply as the confident, sometimes impulsive, young gun from Storage Wars. On screen, his life looked like a classic comeback story, someone who had made mistakes early on but managed to rebuild, find love, and achieve success in front of millions. But like many real lives shaped by pressure and past experiences, the full story is more layered than what television could capture. Behind the fast-paced bidding and playful arguments was a man navigating personal challenges, past decisions, and the weight of public attention. Over time, the contrast between the image people saw and the reality he lived became more noticeable. His journey isn't just about rise and fall. It's about how difficult it can be to truly leave the past behind while building something new. Understanding what happened to Jarrod means looking beyond headlines and dramatic moments, and instead focusing on the human story, one shaped by second chances, complicated relationships, and the ongoing effort to move forward after setbacks. Early mistakes and hard lessons. Long before television fame, Jarrod's life took a difficult turn during his early adulthood. Like many people navigating their 20s without clear direction, he made choices that led to serious consequences. Legal trouble became a turning point, forcing him to confront the reality of where his path was heading. Spending time in prison is often described as a moment of reflection, and for Jarrod, it appears to have been exactly that. Removed from everyday life and placed in a structured, high-pressure environment, he had time to think about the kind of future he wanted. Experiences like these can leave lasting marks, both positive and negative. On one hand, they can create a strong motivation to change. On the other, they can shape how a person responds to stress and conflict later in life. When he eventually left that chapter behind, he carried both the determination to do better and the weight of his past decisions. That combination would influence many of the choices he made in the years that followed. Rebuilding life, one step at a time. After leaving prison, Jarrod faced a reality that many people in similar situations understand all too well. Starting over is never easy. Opportunities are limited. Trust must be rebuilt, and every step forward requires effort. He began working regular jobs, focusing on stability rather than ambition. It wasn't glamorous, but it was necessary. During this period, he worked to create a foundation that would allow him to move beyond his past. These years are often overlooked in stories like his, but they are some of the most important. They represent the quiet work of rebuilding, showing up every day, proving reliability, and slowly reshaping how others see you. It's also during times like these that personal growth happens, even if it's not immediately visible. Jarrod's determination to avoid returning to old patterns helped him stay on track, but the process wasn't perfect. Growth rarely is. Still, he managed to create a life that felt stable enough to support something more, a future that didn't revolve around his past mistakes. The role of Brandi Passante in his life. One of the most significant turning points in Jarrod's journey was meeting Brandi Passante. Their relationship became central not only to his personal life, but also to his sense of direction. Brandi brought stability, perspective, and a belief in his potential that helped him continue moving forward. Together, they built a family and shared responsibilities, creating a partnership that extended beyond romance. For Jarrod, this relationship represented more than companionship. It symbolized a second chance at building something meaningful. Over the years, they navigated both successes and setbacks, supporting each other through changing circumstances. However, relationships that grow under pressure can also carry unspoken challenges. Balancing personal history, financial stress, and later public attention is never simple. While their bond helped shape a more stable period in his life, it also required constant effort to maintain. Like many long-term partnerships, it evolved over time, influenced by both external pressures and internal differences that gradually became harder to ignore. Changes in relationships and personal life. Over time, the relationship between Jarrod and Brandi began to shift. While they had built a life together, the combination of personal differences, work pressures, and years of shared challenges gradually created distance. Their eventual separation marked a significant change, not just for them personally, but also for how audiences viewed them. For fans who had followed their journey, it was a reminder that what appears strong on screen can be more complicated behind the scenes. After the separation, both individuals began focusing on their own paths, adjusting to new realities. For Jarrod, this meant navigating life without the partnership that had been central to his identity for years. Changes like these can be difficult, especially when they happen in the public eye. They require emotional adjustment, reevaluation of priorities, and a willingness to move forward despite uncertainty. While the details remained largely private, the impact of the change was clear. It marked the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. A turning point and public consequences. A widely reported incident in 2021 brought significant attention to Jarrod's personal life and led to legal consequences. Situations like these are often complex, involving multiple perspectives and emotional factors. What is clear is that the event had a lasting impact on how he was perceived publicly and professionally. For someone already carrying a complicated past, this moment reinforced concerns about unresolved patterns and the difficulty of managing conflict under pressure. Public figures often face heightened scrutiny, and actions that might otherwise remain private can quickly become widely discussed. The result, in this case, was a shift in both his career and reputation. It also served as a reminder of how quickly circumstances can change, especially when past challenges intersect with present situations. Moments like these don't just affect one aspect of life. They ripple outward, influencing relationships, opportunities, and the direction of the future. Stepping away from television and public life. Following these events, Jarrod's presence on Storage Wars came to an end. While no dramatic announcement defined the transition, the change was noticeable. He stepped away from the spotlight that had once defined much of his identity. For someone who had spent years in front of cameras, this shift likely required significant adjustment. Life outside of television can feel quieter, but it also offers space for reflection and rebuilding. Moving away from public attention doesn't erase past experiences, but it can create an opportunity to focus on more personal priorities. For Jarrod, this meant redirecting his energy into different areas of life, away from constant scrutiny. The transition highlights an important aspect of public careers. Visibility can come and go, but the underlying personal journey continues. What matters most is how individuals choose to move forward once the spotlight fades. Life today and ongoing efforts to move forward. In recent years, Jarrod has focused on running a business and maintaining a more private lifestyle. This shift reflects a move toward stability rather than visibility. While his past remains part of his story, it doesn't entirely define his present. Like many people who have faced public setbacks, he now operates in a space where growth happens away from constant attention. Managing a business requires consistency and focus, offering a different kind of challenge compared to television fame. At the same time, maintaining personal relationships and responsibilities continues to shape his daily life. Moving forward doesn't mean forgetting the past. It means learning from it and making choices that support a more stable future. His journey is still evolving, shaped by both earlier experiences and current decisions. It may not follow the dramatic arc that once captured audiences, but it reflects something more realistic. The ongoing effort to rebuild, adjust, and find direction after life takes unexpected turns.